Level 80, Stepchild. Ogle is looking around in trepidation. Why are there Matanga everywhere? Has this town fallen? Oh, your face, it is known to me. You were the warrior who fought for Mol and Nadam. I am Ogle of the Katayan. It was your bravery and skill which inspired me to embark upon my own hero's journey. Yet now I have foolishly blundered into a den of Matanga. Why do these others walk without fear? Do they not care if they are slaughtered? These Matangas are not like those on the Azim steppe. Arkasodara are a civilized tribe. I do not doubt your word, but grandmother would always warn me, if you encounter a Matanga, you turn tail and flee as fast and as far as you can. Their tails were awful and bloody, and so now the very sight of them, the terror rises unbidden. No, I cannot stay here. I must earn enough coin to buy passage from this nightmare island as soon as possible. Beg of you, stay at my side for a time, just until I meet with this Kankana person the sailors told me about. She is said to have work that pays a fair wage, so I will see what she has for me. Until I'm fully caught up. Is it inside? Okay. Yeah, we're outside. We should be inside. By the Dusk Mother, no one told me Kankana was a Matanga. Could I ask you to speak with her in my stead? Welcome to Yedlamad, traveler. I am Kankana, and it is my job to assign the right work to the right workers. Might I have your name? Dilly and Ogle, was it? Let me jot those down. Oh, grandmother, why? Why did it have to be a Matanga? Your companion quite all right? An understandable reaction. The Gajasura tribe have done much to sustain the reputation of our people. You are looking for work, though, yes? Many have been forced to take what they can get since the troubles began, so I'm afraid all the simple jobs are gone. As for what's left, I only have tasks fit for seasoned fighters. Does that sound like something you could do? Fighting? I can fight. Lest you doubt, my skill is likened to that of the Dragonbane, the legendary Chakazo herself. I'm not familiar with the name, but you sound formidable indeed. Why don't we start you out on escort duty then? A group of artisans set off to harvest materials and ask that I send any prospective protectors their way should I happen to enlist any. What, they already set off? Is our duty not to escort them? It's to be a ritual dance performed in Kajia's footsteps. They'll need incense and costumes for the dancers and such. The entire thing was decided rather suddenly, so there was no time to waste. And these artisans you speak of, do they also include Matanga in their number? It was an Arkasodara who submitted the request. I hope that won't be a problem. Oh, not at all. I look forward to fainting at the feet of my most feared enemy. I cannot do this alone. Pray lend me the strength of the victor of the Nadam, and half the reward for this task will be yours. Artisans didn't plan to venture far. Leave Yedlamad to the west, and you should soon come across your employer. And that is where we shall meet. You will find me there, yes? Oh, you must be our belated escort, yes? Glad to have such courageous, is your companion not well? She seems a touch shaky. Of course, I should have thought of it before. I shall harvest the necessary ingredients while the artisan stays here. That way I have no need to fear him or being harmed. Perfect. Let's say, this is less than ideal. My people are already scattered across the wilds, and I wanted someone to roam around and ensure they were safe from attack. Your friend perhaps frightened by the Arkasodara? I have met such travelers before. Well, no matter. If you could patrol the area as I asked, I must attend to my own harvesting. Opal has run off into the wilds alone. Keep an eye out for her as you continue your patrol. We are under attack. You must think me foolish. I was so absorbed in my tasks that I failed to notice the ground shaking at their approach. Still, my injuries are light and my satchel is full. Thanks to you, I think I can make it back to town in time to meet the others. Aye, what happened? Did you slay the beast? That was a near thing. I took the first one by surprise, but the second, knowing Matanga stood at my back, my mind froze and my body refused to obey. Grandmother taught that we should not let fear wash over us like water, but to my shame, I could not have failed her more thoroughly. Now to sound ungrateful, not to sound ungrateful, but why did you follow me? We were to patrol? Forgive me, I should have waited for orders instead of running off alone and putting lives in peril. Come, we should return to our employer. I want to be sure that the wounded man reached safety. My colleague told me of his rescue, although we had hoped for an escort from the start. Imagine if you hadn't come at all. Send him and the others back to our workshop, so consider your duty with us complete. Give my thanks. As for your payment, that you can collect from Kankana. Right, I suppose we report to Kankana then. Ah, there you are. Your employer expressed satisfaction with your work, so congratulations on a job well done. In response to the recent chaos, the upcoming ritual was hastily planned, to say the least. As a consequence, the artisans have been hard-pressed to make everything ready. But when times are hard, the people of Thavnair rely on such traditions to renew their faith and bolster their hearts with teachings of the divine. The death of an artisan would have thrown the whole thing into disarray, and thus your rescue was timely indeed. Please accept your payment, half each as agreed upon. Are you interested in further work? I may have something for you, if so. Level 80, Stepchild, complete. Level 80, the Matanga along the way. Kankana looks at you expectantly. Ready to tackle another job, then. This one was registered by a local fisherman asking for help with marauding monsters. Ordinarily, the Radiant Host keeps the worst of the wildfire in check, but these days there just haven't been enough blades to spare. You'll want to speak with the fisherman himself for the details. I couldn't read the scrawl he left for a name, but he's in Arkasodara and should be found fishing the waters from the western shore. Wait, another Matanga? Dilly, you could always use more coin, yes, because I could certainly benefit from your wise and experienced company. Fine pair of hunters we shall make. Come, let us speak with this Arkasodara fisherman. So this is the beginning. Well, we did Stepchild, which was the Currents. That would have been the one you saw before this. But we did it days ago. This is so we can unlock the tribal quest for the Arkasodaras. There's like 2 separate quest lines we got to do before we can even start. Come to take care of the monsters, have you? About damn time. We're fine when we're out on the water, of course, but even a fisher needs to walk on land every now and again, and the trails grow more perilous by the day. I've managed to sneak through without a scratch so far, but friends of mine haven't been so fortunate. Talk to the others around here, they'll tell you. I might need your help with that. Speaking with the Arkasodara is still challenging for me. Did we do this together then? Yes, fine, good idea. Vogel is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Vogel behind by entering a different area by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Vogel accompany you again, return and speak with her at the original location. They've gotten really big on these escort quests. You want to hear about monsters? I saw 3 big brutes on the way from Akyali to Yedlamad. Never seen the like around these parts before. You want a story? When I left Akyali the other day, I almost walked straight into a fiend with a tongue as long as my arm. Barely escaped being gobbled up on the spot. Attacked by the wildlife? Oh yes, while I was hauling a catch back to town, dropped the lot and fled for my life. The roads used to be safe enough, but now... So, do you understand now why we had to send for help? I understand you have a problem with long-tongued brutes terrorizing your roads. Those creatures are what we call Pisaka. Without the army sending out regular patrols, it seems the inland monsters have begun expanding their territories. They've forgotten their fear of us, and that's when people start dying. I need you to remind them. Once you found and slain these overly bold Pisaka, I ask that you bring me one of their carcasses. There's something I've been curious about. Very well, let us make of this contest, shall we? First to topple a Pisaka is the victor. Ever seen anyone so eager to throw herself headlong into a Pisaka's jaws? Shouldn't you be chasing after her? Ah, first kill is mine. Grandmother always said that the hunter should be swift, like a diving yawl. You mind tracking down the other 2? Once they saw what I did to their friend, they fled to the northwest. I can haul this lump back to the beach while you finish the hunt. You would be alone with an Arkasodara. You're so keen on fainting. Ah, my fear of Matanga has begun to ebb somewhat. Now go, before some other poor soul crosses paths with those monsters. Call our chocobo. Okay. And then the third. I'm hoping to get it all done before Dawn Trail releases. Kind of got delayed with jury duty. Ah, there you are. Your friend is stronger than she looks. We had to load the carcass onto a boat to carry it away. What are Pisaka's packmates? Did you find them? Both slain then? That is good. Of course she slew them. Songs of Zilly's deeds are sung across the steppe. My aching arms would like to know why you wanted the remains, though. Why else to make use of its parts? The scales can be spun into silver, and the meat will fill our pots. The bones and teeth we can craft into hooks and other tools. We killed nothing for the sake of killing, even murderous monsters. The 2 bodies you left behind will serve as a warning to others of their kind. If it keeps them away, then no more blood need be shed. It seems our tribes share similar customs when it comes to using every part of the kill. As grandmother always said, be not wasteful of your lives, of the lives of you take to sustain your own. You are so very different from your kin, the Gajusara. Oh, so that's why you have been avoiding my gaze. If your only experience with Matanga has been our brutal cousins, then you'll find the Arkasodara an agreeable lot by comparison, might even make a few friends, eh? Here's your payment, and well earned, I'd say. Another job finished. We should report to Kankana that she might strike it from her list. Let me know when you are done basking in the success of our hunt, and we can return to Yedlamad. Level 80, the Matanga along the way, complete. I don't know how many of these there are. I know there's a whole other quest line of like 4 or 5 quests, so I don't know if we'll do those today or not. Level 80, Ogle repays her favors. Ogle is tapping her foot impatiently. Ready then. I've been counting the contents on my coin purse. I have enough to buy passage on a ship, but as for food and other supplies, well, I would feel more comfortable with the pay from one more job weighing down my belt. You can see me through just one more, yes? At the very least, let us make our report to Kankana and ask what else she has on offer. Come, show me how fleet of foot you are, champion. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. I tried to get some stuff done, but I mainly just ground out fates for this. I mean, you be stuck in jury duty all day. It's not fun, but price of it. Ah, safely back from your work on the shore, I see, but where is Ogle? My coin purse. Some slippery son of a Zo snatched it from me, brazen as you please. I lost sight of him in the market along with all my worldly wealth. How am I to pay for lodgings or food? Already my belly cries in protest. Oh, you poor thing, and after all the good work you've done for us, you will stay with me tonight, I insist. You would take me in? I saw that. You looked me right in the eye, finally warming up to us, Arkasodara, are you? I can barely see you through the tears, but yes, maybe now I can stand to be in the same room as a Matanga, some of them anyway. I'm glad to hear it. Here, and I'll lend you a few coins as well. We can't have you running around without guilt to your name. Thank you. In fact, why don't we head to my house now? We can fill that complaining belly of yours. You're more than welcome to join us. Oh, Zilly, something terrible has happened. I've been robbed. We saw a boy jumping out of the window as we approached, and when I looked inside, all my belongings had been turned inside out. Ogle set off in pursuit of the thief, but hasn't returned. Do you think you could catch up with her and see if everything's all right? I'll lock up here, and you can meet me back at my offices when you've found her. Young, I lost him again. I swear it was the same urine boy who made off with my coin purse. His size, his clothing, it all matches. I was willing to cut my losses and earn more gil, but this insult to my host, it will not stand. Grandmother always said to repay one's favors, and by the Dusk Mother, I mean to do just that. Will you help me find justice for Kankana? Of course. Then we start by asking around for more information. I have a feeling we are not the only ones who have fallen afoul of this thieving urchin. The swifter we act, the better our chances, yes? I say we split up, gather what clues we can, then meet back at Kankana's offices. Question time. This is secondhand information, mind you, but I hear that the thief you're looking for is barely more than a child. Sad, isn't it, how terrible things have become that a young boy is forced into a life of crime just to survive? Come now. Probably talk to a gemstone trader too. There was another robbery. I wonder if it's the same boy I found in my house the other day. He yelled that he was sorry, and when I saw the desperation on his face, I didn't have the heart to chase after him. Recent rash of pickpocketing? Oh yes, I've heard several stories. They say it's likely the work of the same criminal. Well, champion, what have we discovered? So our tale was a familiar one, and what I heard from the local children was even more disturbing. They tell me a stranger approached them with promise of work and easy coin. I have no proof this offer is connected with the recent robberies, but it does seem suspicious. And if this stranger truly is recruiting young ones to steal for him, then he is the one I would punish for these crimes. We just need to find him first. Kazatan closing its gates left many struggling to make a living, and the appearance of that ghastly tower sparked a chain of events that still has the radiant host spread too thin on too many fronts. Under the circumstances, a rise in crime is to be expected. We are fortunate then to have the two of you here to act on behalf of our lawkeepers, so please accept this as payment. We cannot expect you to work on an empty stomach. Level 80, Ogle repays her favors. Complete. Level 80, the Yedlamad Hunt. Ogle is eager to see justice served. A new hunt begins. Come, we must track down the one behind all this. But we're still not sure if the stranger is actually involved in the robberies, let alone where to start looking for him. There's a simple way to find out. We lure the boy thief into stealing from me again, and if what we suspect is true, then he will likely take any ill-gotten gains directly to his patron. So I will play the part of an unguarded traveler flaunting a heavy purse or some such. You keep watch for the little pickpocket and be ready to follow him when he makes his move. Should he lead you to some shadowy figure, then I want you to herd them both to the west. I will circle around and be lying in wait to spring an ambush. It's really quite clever, Ogle. I'm impressed. Grandmother always said, if you want to catch the big fish, don't spare the bait. The same idea applies to slippery criminals. Right then, let us take our places in the town square and lay the trap for our quarry. I will try to make the lure something obvious so you can see it being stolen from afar. Mm-hmm. Now we just have to find it. Follow your quarry from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you're unnoticed or if you fall too far behind. Should you fail, return to the starting point to reattempt the objective. Where the hell is he? Hey, where is he? Oh, there's Ogle. Okay. Supposed to hide behind the elephant. Oh, is that how far I had to go? Is that it? Boy thief has led you to a suspicious looking Arkasodara man. Man, come on. Arkasodara man. Ooh, you're a proper little scoundrel, aren't you? Nice work. I'll fence the rest of the goods and then you'll get your cut. God's damn it. Rakashir, I told you to check for tails. You want your family to learn of our arrangement? Now run. Robbers have fled westwards. Chase after them. Got him. My apologies. I intended to circle around his plan, but when I heard how he yelled at the child, my rage could not be contained. Grandmother always said those who prey on the weak are undeserving of mercy, so I beat him senseless. Fool of a Matanga, when he awakens, he will find himself in the custody of the Radiant Host. Miss, I'm sorry you got hurt because of me, and I'm sorry for taking your belongings. Apology accepted, young one. It is a brave thing to admit when you are wrong. Help me explain the situation to your law keepers, and we can steer you back onto the right path. If you say so, miss. I will cart this refuse to the nearest guardhouse. Pray inform Kankana of our success. Ogle, is everything all right? Zilly told me what happened. All is well. They began interrogating the man before I left, and he was blubbering about where he stashed the stolen goods. The soldiers plan to recover the cash and return the items to their rightful owners. Praise be to the sisters. There were certain personal articles, things very dear to me, that I had thought lost forever. Oh, I should also mention Rakashir, our boy thief. It seems his parents were out of work and begging for scraps. His were crimes of necessity, and after seeing the considerable remorse he showed for his actions, I decided to let him keep the coin he took from me, as well as my share of the reward from the Radiant Host. As grandmother always said, children are the greatest treasure of all. I can hardly let him and his family starve now, can I? How will you pay for passage now? You're right back where you started. I can earn it back again easily enough, and since I have tamed my fear of the Arkasodara, there is no need to rush. I will take my time, explore all the wonders this island has to offer. Thank you for staying by my side this long, but I think I continue on alone. Speaking of which, Kankana, have you any new task available? Oh, my dear Ogle, I have the perfect job for you. I actually have business with the employer myself, so we can head off together if you like. There you go. I hadn't forgotten your half of the reward. May your adventures be many and your hunt successful. Level 80, the Yedlamad hunt, complete. Okay, I think we need to do the other set of quest lines before we can continue this one. And I think there's like one more after that we would need to unlock Peace Drive. Still a lot less than the Mughals were. Let's do this set of quest lines. It's like 4 or 5. They're probably pretty short too. Level 80. What's an apparent? Yazan is mumbling to himself indistinctly. Oh, excuse me, did you need something? Wait, you're her, the very woman who saved Mevon's child, was it? Silly, was it? I knew it. I'm Yazan, an alchemist of the great work. I am but one of a few who are looking after the child as she makes her recovery. Mevon and Karasef were dear friends of mine. Thank you for everything you've done for their daughter. Oh, that's the baby from the MSQ. Her condition is on the mend. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. We've been taking turns checking in on her, and last thing she needs is a gaggle of adults fussing over her day and night. That being said, when she is healed fully, there is a question of who will be in charge of her care. For the love I bore her parents, I would gladly take her in as my own, but that would mean raising her away from her home. Moreover, I am yet to be wed, and my duties consume so much of my time I can scarce focus on my own care, let alone that of a growing child. I doubt my ability to give her the love she deserves, love equal to that of her parents gave her. She deserves better than that, so I've considered finding someone more suitable. It's the least I can do, and truth be told, perhaps the best option. Even so, although I was born here, much of my life was spent at the great work. I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest idea who to ask, even if I had time to do so. Gotta be a different kid, huh? You, however, seem to be well loved among the people here. Could you ask around in my stead? It would be a much more effective use of my time to prepare medicine for the wounded and sick. I apologize for imposing such an enormous task upon you, but I would trust no one else with it. When you finish, come to my hut to the south of the settlement. We can discuss any potential parental candidates. If you ask me, Pazarine is the most motherly among us. She had a child of her own not too long ago, so I reckon there's no one better to be a wet nurse. That being said, times have been troubled for us all, but it might be unseemly to ask her to take on such a burden unless she was willing. Child, eh? None dote over her quite like Yazan, but I understand alchemy isn't a merciful trade for a parent. Still, there's no one else that comes to mind when I consider the question. I'd volunteer to take her in myself, but with the chaos of recent events, it's difficult enough to see that me and mine are fed and clothed. I know I'm not the only one facing such hardships either. Who do I think is the most suited to care for the child? Yazan is the obvious choice, dependable, loyal, and dutiful, every quality you would desire in a parent. I know he does become so absorbed in his research, but that devotion has made him a peerless alchemist. Who better is there to look after someone so sickly as her? Down here? Looking right at it. Oh, it's in the hut. Welcome to my humble workshop. I'm almost too nervous to ask, but what did the others say? Hey, someone nominated me? Well, that's neither here nor there. You said Pazarine's name was mentioned? He was a good friend of Mevin, it's true, but there are other factors at play that make me reticent to ask her. Simply put, I'd rather not burden her further if it can be avoided. That being said, we don't exactly have the luxury of choice, all things considered. Suppose I would be remiss if I didn't at least speak with her. I owe the child that much. Will you accompany me? A supportive presence by my side would help me find the right words. Azarine should be nearby, doubtless watching over her own child. I must deliver this medicine before speaking with her, so please go on ahead. Yazan, it's so good to see you, and who is this with you? Azarine Meadzilli, she's the hero who saved Mevin and Karasav's daughter. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. Thank you for your bravery. I've heard tell of the trouble she's been through since. I hope that you're able to see her return to health soon. Has been trying to be sure, but we must look forward to the day she is hale. Everyone is doing their utmost to make it so. Question remains as to where she will go from there. However, I've considered taking her into my own home, but I fear my qualifications as a parent are somewhat lacking. I know you to have been dear friend of Mevin, and as such, only thought it meet to ask if you're willing to care for her daughter. If you are, I would do everything in my power to see that she is given into your care. I'm flattered, Mevin. It was as family to me, and I view her child as my own. I would do anything to see her raised into a brave woman as her mother. However, I cannot care for her. I'm not worthy to care for her. Worthy? What does that? My apologies. I understand it was a sudden request, and no small one besides. Please forgive the imposition. I'll be in the village for some time yet. Should you require treatment for you and yours, please seek me out. I will. Thank you, Yazan. I would speak with you further. Let's return to my dwelling. Said she was a mother. Did she lose her kid? That'd be pretty rough, probably. I wasn't too forceful, was I? I simply asked her if she was willing. I didn't mean to make her feel obligated to agree. Found her words somewhat mystifying. Not worthy. What could that mean? I'm usually not one to pry, but this worries me. I consider Pazarine a friend, and I am loath to leave her to her troubles. There's still a matter of the child. I shall have to think on what to do from here. I may need your help again soon. I hope you are willing. Level 80. What's in a parent? Complete. Level 80. Curing what ails. Yazan requires a capable green thumb to assist him. Well then, if you're willing, I have a task that requires immediate attention. It's simple but essential, namely the gathering of herbs. The child is in a vulnerable state, and I would fortify her against further sickness. There are also more wounded in this village than I had anticipated, and my stores have begun running low. It would be best to replenish them while time affords us an opportunity. Can I count on you to help me? Splendid. I require several of the reddish soma herbs, which grow among the shrubbery to the northeast. With both of us working in tandem, I wager we should have enough gathered before the next bell. Shrubbery. There's more. I see it. These appear to be the herbs you seek, but only their stems remain. Another enterprising alchemist must have already been here. That first one didn't do anything. Yazah! I saw the creatures emerge from the brush, but you felled them before I had a chance to be frightened. I'm glad you survived unscathed. If that had been me. Any road, did you manage to find the soma? Excellent work, excellent work. My search came up fruitless. It appears we're not the only ones seeking this particular herb. Shouldn't come as a surprise, I suppose. This area is well known for the medicinal plants which grow here. My supplies run low once more. Perhaps I should ask the villagers if they have any to spare. For now, I believe we've found all we can. Let's return to Palakistan. As I suspected, we weren't the only ones searching for the jungle. I returned to my quarters to find a bag positively stuffed to the brim with herbs, including soma, in fact. I asked a nearby colleague who delivered this bounty, and they told me it was one of the Arkasodara stewards. I believe I know who it is. Her name is Sula, a shy one, but obviously kind of hard. I spied her eavesdropping during our conversation with Pazarine, poorly, I might add. Apologize for asking more of you at the end of a trying day, but would you speak with her for me? Offer her thanks for the herbs, and perhaps find out if she knows anything of Pazarine's troubles. For my part, I'll begin synthesizing the medicine at once. Sula should be somewhere nearby. I pray you have a productive conversation. Oh, you are. I mean, who are you? Do you require something from me? The herbs that came upon them while hunting, nothing more. I have heard that the medicine made from them is effective in treating the ailments of young children. It seemed only meet that I should do my part, as it were. What do you know of Pazarine's troubles? Why were you eavesdropping on our conversation? Well, very well. I believe I can shed some light on the root of Pazarine's distress. That is what you wished to hear. Yes, Yazan asked you to speak with me, just as he asked you to gather his herbs. Then perhaps it is best for us all to speak together. Go to him and allow me some time to gather my thoughts. I shall approach you when I am ready. You're just in time. I've only just finished synthesizing medicine, so did Sula tell you anything of interest? Well, I suppose I can hear it straight from her. Appreciate that you felt it fit to include me. Firstly, I owe you an apology. I was thinking about out of concern for Pazarine. I know what it is that weighs on her mind, you see. That is what you want to know, yes? The story is troubling to hear, even more troubling to relate. Before I tell it, you must promise me that you will be her strength in the days to come. Of course, anything to help a friend. Zazal, her beloved husband, was killed. When the veil of chaos descended upon the world, he fled into the jungle and transformed into one of those terrible beasts. He returned here a monster, where my sister Choppa met his wrath. Neither of them survived the ensuing struggle. I was there as well. Despite his monstrous form, I knew it was Dazal. I froze in terror while Choppa stood undaunted. She fought alone for my cowardice, and it was my fault she died. I knew this, and yet I laid the blame on Pazarine's shoulders. I lashed out at her, cursing her for her husband's cowardice. When we both should have comforted the other in mourning, I turned my back on her. I left her to bear the burden of not one but two deaths. It is only natural that she would be hesitant to look after another, given that. As her kid didn't die, it was her husband. I was a fool to condemn Pazarine when it was my duty to protect the people here. I wanted nothing more than to apologize since that day, but I fear my words were too cruel to forgive. I cannot stand to meet her gaze. Yeah, I saw her holding the baby. I thought it might have just been the other one. It was a difficult time for everyone. We often lose ourselves in moments of crisis, but so long as we find our way back, we are worthy of forgiveness. Choppa would agree, I'm sure. She wouldn't blame you for what happened, nor would she want you to blame yourself. Pazarine doubtless feels the same. You were right, I must apologize to her. That is the only course. Silly was it? I will speak with Pazarine, but I require some time to muster my courage. Soon, I promise. Level 80, curing what ails. Complete. Level 80, the sins we bear. Sula looks eager to leave Palakistan, but to where is not clear. Thank you for lending an ear to my troubles. If you're willing, there is a place I would travel to, and I wish for you to accompany me. Administering to my duties may help calm my nerves. To that end, I mean to inspect the temples for signs of disrepair. After we have finished, I hope to find the courage to once again look Pazarine in the eyes. All the monsters about, most of my attention of late has been focused on finding and protecting those who have fled. With the arrival of the Radiant Hosts, however, there's finally time to attend to this long-neglected duty. I too must ask that you go with Sula, knowing that their holy places are being cared for may set these people's hearts at ease. Even an ounce of comfort is precious in these trying times. Much appreciated. Would that I could join you, but I'm afraid an alchemist's tools are of little use against fangs and claws. It doesn't mean I'll stand idly by, however. I'll remain here and continue making medicine for the children. My hands may be clumsy with sword and shield, but there are a few more adroit with mortar and pestle. We are blessed indeed to have a pair such as you looking after us. Well then, let us begin the patrol. Our first destination shall be Perusa to the southeast. It is a bit of a trek, so make the proper arrangements before departing. Bilto. There's a train about. But we need to finish this. It has been some time since I have set foot in these hallowed grounds. In times bygone, there were even more such places in this region, but many were moved to Vanaspati. From one of the divinities worshipped here were these words passed down, that we might send off our departed with its wisdom. Just as life leads to death, so too does death lead to life. Do not shed tears for the departed, for they have but set foot upon new journey. Be not forlorn that your paths have diverged, but look forward to the joy the day that they might cross again. As long as I can remember, I followed in my sister's footsteps. In her absence, I have felt lost. Whenever I think to forge a new path of my own making, my legs become heavy and my heart becomes anxious. Your sister would want you to move forward with courage. Sometimes standing still offers new perspective. Thank you. Yazan has a generous soul, and to have your wisdom to buoy me is more than I deserve. Would that I could open my heart to Passerine in such a way. This part of the temple appears to be well kept. Let us check the other side, shall we? Coming all this way? This area is in a ghastly shape. Scratches here and cracks there. Will you help me investigate further? We will cover more ground by searching separately. I shall search around this area. I trust you to do your due diligence. No, it's that. Stones here are crumbling and fragments of them litter the ground. It would be best to replace them. Stones here are cracked and require repair. Stones of the foundation appear to be unstable. However, filling in the areas where the grout has fallen away should remedy that. Have you finished? Was it as bad as it looks? I see, this may have been the site of a battle or some other horrible conflict. I must do what I can to see it repaired. Though this temple may be remote, the devout do come here on occasion to offer their prayers. Thank you for helping me today. This has helped me forget the crisis that plagued us and remind me of a simpler time. When we would look after the roads and protect the pilgrims on their journeys, I ever looked forward to setting out on patrol with my sister by my side, but I must find a way to manage without her, to set foot upon my own path. My first step must be to apologize to Passerine, even if she may refuse it. No more distractions. That being said, if you were by my side, it may be all the easier for me to find the right words. Yep, my brain. Laggy. Oh, hello, Zilly and Sula. I take it your patrol was fruitful. I've just administered a soothing salve to Passerine's child. She was sleeping soundly now, so us speaking should not wake her. Yeah, it is Passerine's child. Okay, Passerine, I am sorry I should not have said all those horrible things before. I was not in my right mind. My fault my sister was killed. I stood frozen in fear when Dazal attacked, and yet when it was all over, I placed the blame on you. I was a fool. No, Sula, you were right. It was I who couldn't ease his troubles. It was my fault he succumbed to the despair that gnawed at his heart. I lost something during this tragedy, through no one's fault but fate. These are difficult days, and we shouldn't blame ourselves for their cruelty. There is reason in your answer, of course, but forgiveness of the self is no simple matter. I am overjoyed to speak with you again, Sula. However, I'm afraid I need more time to come to terms with everything that has occurred. Would that I knew how much Passerine was suffering. I could have been there to comfort her. Perhaps there is something I can do now, something to set her upon the right path. Level 80, the sins we bear, complete. Level 80, Societal Alchemy. Yazan has one final request to make of you. It is plain that Pazarine is not yet ready to forgive herself, but I'm at a loss as to what we should do. Do we leave her be, or is there some way we can help? I, for one, will not stand idly by while she suffers alone. Perhaps she had something to remind her of her beloved. She would more easily accept his loss. Pazarine never did have the chance to say her farewells. Tilly, I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more. Will I have it? It appears that I shall be in your debt again, but it is well worth it. During the chaos, most of us fled northwest to the bridge. Let us retrace those steps, and we may find something that belonged to Dizal. Pick up anything that catches your eye, and we can share what we have found once we reach the bridge. Thank you for all you've done for Sula thus far. Zilly, our spirits are already much improved for your efforts. Let's hope that we can effect the same change in Pazarine. Zal did enjoy his jewelry and bauble, so it is inconceivable that he may have dropped something as he fled. If you should spy anything glittering in the brush, it couldn't hurt to pick it up. Glittering object. Hostile presence. Oh, okay. Here it is. Oh, right here. Okay. How goes the search? I found this necklace among the underbrush, one of Dazal's favorites, but it seems to be missing the jewel that made it shine so brilliantly. Ah, what's that in your hand? Why, this is it, the very jewel I spoke of. We make an excellent team, eh? However, we cannot give this to Pazarine as it is. We must repair it first. Doubtless Yazan will be able to lend his expertise in that respect. Let us return to the village and speak with him. Sula has told me all about your findings, quite excitably. In fact, she's gone to find materials so she can polish the necklace to a mirror sheen. For the jewel, I believe I can take it off your hands for the time being. This repair should prove simple enough. Adhesive is one of the most elementary recipes. Once the necklace is in presentable shape, I'll bring Sula to visit Pazarine. Could you go ahead and tell her to wait for us? If we take longer than expected, I trust you can keep her enraptured with one of your grand tales. You have something for me? I don't recall asking anything of you. Pazarine, I would like you to have this, please. This is Dazal's necklace. Oh, he was so proud the day he bought this. How in the world did you find it? I had naught but memories to remind me of him, but the sight of this makes me feel as that he isn't so far away after all. I mean, you have the kid, right? There's nothing I can do to change the past, but I can work to help give us both a brighter future. This was the least I could do, and I could not have done it without the help of these two. Thank you for this gift, truly, and for your wise words. I see now that you're right. We mustn't let the tragedies of yesterday keep us rooted in place. All it takes is a single step forward, but you must want to take it. Sometimes we must stop to consider the best way forward. Well said, well said. Might I add that wounds heal more quickly when a salve is applied to them. When we ignore the pain they cause, they rot. We must take action to see them healed and rest when we are tired. Only when our energy returns can we move forward carefully, one step at a time. Yes, one step at a time. Yazan, if it isn't too much trouble, could I help to care for the child? Scars of recent tragedy are yet too fresh for me to take care of her entirely by myself, but even so, that doesn't mean I cannot assist in some small way. I have my own child to look over, of course, but still, if you were to take the child under your wing, I would be happy to assist you whenever you needed me. For the time being, I could be her wet nurse. Any medicine she requires would be your responsibility, I suppose. Together, we can see that she emerges from her affliction as hale and as any newborn babe. That's a splendid idea. I must admit, I could hardly think of a better arrangement myself. I shall hunt and bring food for the child that she might grow to be strong like her father and mother. That is what Choppa would do, and one step at a time I shall make her proud. The emptiness I feel at Dazal's loss will take time to fill, but I believe in time it will heal. He would want me to heal. Allow me to thank you once again for all you've done. We owe you more than we can repay. Now I would like to see the child for myself. I'm not one for subtleties of conversation, but I'd say that went as well as could be expected, wouldn't you? Now come back to my workshop. There's something I'd like to give you. Truth be told, I had already resolved to raise the child myself, but the prospect of having a helping hand is comforting indeed. I suppose the true work starts from here, eh? I'm glad to finally have good news to share with Karasaf and Mevan. I've been so occupied with treating the sick and injured that I've had little time to think of the departed. My friends really are gone, but I can still honor their memory. If anything has become clear from recent events, it is that the people of this settlement must speak with one another about their troubles. Solitary thoughts so quickly turn dark. I'm more than capable of treating the wounds we can see, but it takes a community to heal those that are hidden. I admit the latter prospect may take some time for me to become accustomed to. Don't be so hard on yourself. Your presence put others at ease. You'll find a way as an alchemist, a friend, and a father. But that there were more than one of me, eh? Luckily, I know more than a few concoctions that will give me the vigor of several men. I only need have the energy to brew them. Regardless, I apologize for dragging you along all this time, even though I doubt we would have arrived at such an amicable conclusion without you, so I retract my apology. Although her parents are no longer with us, I must do my utmost to raise their child in a way that would meet with their approval. I owe my friends that much. Level 80, Societal Alchemy. Complete. Okay, wait, I think this one. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay, level 80, a budding adventure. Yazan has yet another favor to ask of the only adventurer he knows. Ah, Zilly, just the woman I was hoping to see. Now that I've had the opportunity to speak with more of the people here, I realize their plight is even more dire than I had imagined. Increased prices had caused the flow of supplies to grind to a halt, and the people can scarcely meet their daily needs. This would be the case even without the influx of refugees. One way we might alleviate this is to requisition a shipment from Yedlamad, but the process takes precious time. I fear that many would starve before we see a single sack of grain. All of this is exacerbated by the lack of able-bodied fighters. The wounded are many, and there are few who have the strength and skill to guard us from the beasts lurking in the forest. Radiant hosts would give their lives to protect us and have, but every day more of them are injured. Bravery alone is only worth so much in the face of overwhelming numbers. While I am much appreciative of your help so far, I am not so naive as to think that you will remain here indefinitely. Had we another of your skill to aid us, we might at least stand a chance to weather the worst of this storm. However, my time at the Great Work is spent largely in solitude, and the people of this village know of little beyond its walls. But you've been to the furthest reaches and back, yes? Do you know of anyone else who might lend their stout arm to these humble folk? I know just such an adventurer, as fierce as I, if not more so. I know someone who could give the merchants proper motivation for a speedy delivery. I knew I could count on your wide web of storied personages. Ogle and Kankana, you say? I believe we may be able to kill two birds with one stone with that pair. Unfortunately, my hands are full meeting with the medicinal needs of the village. Seeing as you're already acquainted with these fellows, could you appeal to them on our behalf? Apologies for once again putting so much on your shoulders, but it is for the good of one and all. Can I count on your assistance? Thank you, friend. Well then, off to Yedlamad to meet this Kankana, eh? Safe travels, and I will pray you that you return with good news. Yeah, this is the last of the setup quest. I think the next quest is the actual start of the tribal quest line. I think. Well, if it isn't Zilly, I'd wondered when you might walk through my door again. You will be pleased to hear young Rakashir has taken to adventuring like a thief to the coin purse. He is more than capable enough to assist me on my less arduous tasks. Indeed, his future is bright. However, as much as it heartens me to see you, I sense your visit isn't entirely motivated by curiosity in our affairs, yes? I see. I did not know that Palakistan was beset by such troubles, but I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, all things considered. Naturally, I shall do all in my power to help. A few words to the right people, and the merchants will have a shipment of supplies ready in a matter of bells. Inform this Yazan that aid is on the way, and for much less coin than the merchants would usually charge. This chaos has gripped all of Rajatan, and it is only together that we shall find the strength to release ourselves from it. If you require an adventurer, then look no further. The supplies require brave souls to defend them, correct? And I offer mine. I will await you at the gates. Wait for me. I'm coming too. Kankana made good on her word, not that I doubted she would. The merchants were likely all too eager to make such a sizable trade. They even provided us with bags and coats for the journey. And it appears Rakashir will be joining us. Try as I might to convince him otherwise, his mind is made up. Hopefully this will prove to be another learning experience for him. My grandmother always did say the road forward is paved with good deeds. The three of us shall see that no beast lays fang or claw upon these provisions. There are more supplies to come, but they will be delivered by the Radiant Host. We shall be the vanguard, the harbingers of salvation for Palakistan. With that, let us be off. Where is she? She's like way up here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Hmm. A couple of days. Yeah, we'll do it in a couple of days. Probably. Yep. That's the wrong key. Wrong button, fool. It was a splendid display indeed. Your bravery never ceases to impress. Never seen such a fierce warrior. I dare say she's every bit your equal. Children are so easily impressed. While Silly is indeed a formidable adventurer, your teacher has many great deeds to her name and more yet to come. Now the village is not far. Let us march, and I challenge any monster to approach. Hold on, you forgot the supplies. Okay, so not quite at the village. Right. All right. You see that, Rakashir? Mark well how quickly that beast succumbed to the flurry of blades, in no small part thanks to this brave Arkasodara. Ah, so this is the adventurer that Yazan spoke of. Not since my last hunt with sister have I fought so effortlessly with another. Never have I felt so invigorated to have such a mighty Arkasodara fighting by my side. How do you keep it up? Just watching you has me out of breath. Endurance is the product of long hours of practice, lad. Well then, it seems my hunt is finished. Let us return to Palakistan before we draw the attention of something deadlier. Yazan will be eager to speak with you upon your return. Do not keep him waiting for long. Probably just quicker to... There you are. Sula told me you brought both supplies and the protection you promised. She is at present preparing the game she hunted. She has promised to spar with me afterward. I am fast feeling that I have made the right choice in coming here. I'm grateful for it, lass. It will do Sula good to have your energizing presence by her side. I understand that there are yet more supplies to come. I must find a way to thank the merchants and the one who spurred them to action. Kankana, was it? She will spare no effort to see Ratat Han rebuilt. If there is anything else you require from the merchants, she'll be happy to help. Seems we found a reliable ally, thanks to you. Oh, teacher, don't forget, we should ask about the journal we found. Yes, of course, I was just about to mention it. The beast Sula and I felt was holding fast to this. Perhaps you know who its owner is? This, by the Manusia. Yes, I do in fact know who penned this journal. They were dear friends of mine. Unfortunately, they didn't survive the tragedy that befell us. I see. I am sorry for your loss. Thank you. Luckily, their memory lives on in their child, and now this journal. When she comes of age, I'll show this to her, that she might come to know who her parents were. Life is but a string of meetings and farewells. It is our memories that sustain us, that give us life. In this way, those who journey ended watch over those with the strength to step forward into a new day. As I've been reading all day. All the wisdom grandmother passed down, I hold this to the most precious. Memories are the greatest treasure that we can leave behind. If grandmother had a way with words, she could have taught even the divinities a thing or two. I dare say you may be right, young Rakashir. I am not half so wise as she was, but her sage advice has been a beacon which has always guided me true. Truth be told, I first accompanied you here to repay the debt I owed, as grandmother would have wanted. I see now, however, that fate intended for me to be here. In Sula, I have met a comrade in arms, and in Rakashir, I have found a capable and eager student. For both their sakes, I must strive ever to be better than the day I was before. Perhaps I should take up the art of dance. The fierce display of the Sekusegami compelled me to set down my spear and take up the katana. The grace and deadliness with which the dancers throw their weapons has a charm all its own. Some measure of peace has returned to the Matanga, and I believe my skills will put to better use here. An adventurer must court challenge, after all. My teacher has a daring spirit if slightly reckless, but worry not, I'll make sure she doesn't come to harm. If you listen to a single word I have said, Rakashir, you have no notion of the dangers I must brave daily, for now you should be content to behold great deeds and learn from them. I wager your adventures will soon take you far from here. Zilly, rest assured I shall safeguard the people of Palakistan in your stead. I look forward to hearing tales of your exploits. Well then, the first order of the day is to attune to the Aetheryte and gather information. Jot this lesson down, young Rakashir, for these are the fundamentals of adventuring. Come now. Our lack of supplies was weighing heavily on my mind. I feared for both Pazarine and the child, but for the first time in a long while I can breathe easily. Ogle's presence has proven to be a salve on Sula's mood as well. She laughs as she hasn't since her sister's passing. We both have you to thank for our reversals of fortune. Even the departed have benefited from Ogle's arrival. The delivery of the journal was an unexpected boon, and it will doubtless prove to be vital in raising the child. When she becomes old enough to understand its contents, she will come to know the deep love her parents bore for her, a love so steadfast that it will shield her from the world's cruelty. Of course, I intend to tell her all about your part in her salvation as well. But for now, there is work to be done for both of us, I'm sure. Wheresoever your travels may take you, don't forget the friends you have in this corner of Thavnair. Lastly, be safe. If you die before I can repay the debt I owe you, I'll hunt you through the 7 hells until the ledger is balanced. So let's see it doesn't come to that, eh? Level 80, a budding adventure, complete. Level 80, hippos born to run. Kankana shifts from foot to foot with agitation. Your adventurer's senses tingle with tantalizing taste of a problem to be solved. Ah, Zilly, just who I was hoping to see. Do you have a moment? Just when I thought normalcy had finally returned to us, I received word of some truly peculiar hippo sightings. Yes, hippos, a veritable herd of hippos. Hurtling down the high road, no less. Hippos hurtling? How majestic. Huh, I thought that was normal for Thavnair. Yes, well, though hippos have long inhabited Vanaspati, it is quite unusual to see them in such numbers outside their natural habitat, let alone harrying travelers on the high road. Yet harried the travelers are. If these hippos have been displaced by the fires that beset the jungle during the final days, we must find them a more suitable home for the sake of all concerned. I would normally ask the Radiant host for help with such affairs, but they already have so much on their hands, and Ogle happens to be away, so could I ask you to look into the matter? Oh, thank you. You are truly a blessing. I don't know much more than what I've already told you, but I am sure others in Yedlamot have spotted a hurdling hippo or two. See what they have to say. Hurtling hippos, you say? Oh yes, I saw them barreling down the high road at tremendous speed. It was frightening just to watch. They kicked up so much dust that I couldn't get a clear look at them, but everyone on the highland knows that smooth silhouette, an adorable yet fearsome creature, the hippo. Yes, I've seen hippos on a number of occasions over by the Great Work, and this is the second time I've answered that question in as many bells. One of the refugees came by asking the very same not moments ago. Kerna, I think her name was. You're looking for the same hippos, maybe she could help? She set off towards the perfumed rise last I saw. Is this about those dreadful Arkasodara up north, hitching carts to their hippos, and Cinderuva knows what else? They've come down to join the other refugees. I don't doubt they'll be stirring up trouble, as if we don't have enough people leeching off our goodwill already. Okay. Seems right, Beachy. Okay. What are you looking at? Can't you see I'm in the middle of something here? Hey, you're looking for hippos. Damn, I was hoping to put paid to this before it got out of hand. Well, those hippos you're looking for should be rolling through any moment now. Just stand back and watch. Here they come. Hey, no stopping. What? Why is there fruit in the middle of the... Done it now, you Hamza heads. Maru, what'd I tell you about riding this high road? Oh, but boss. Well, the roads back home ain't good for riding no more, boss. We ain't got much of a choice. Turtling hippos are dangerous. Keep it off the high road, will you? Turtling hippos are dangerous. Yeah, roaring down a main road, kicking up dust storms. You're scaring people. What, you already forgot about the Tower of Zot, the fires and the screaming and the people turning? You really think that raising a racket's what we need right now? In case you ain't got it through your heads yet, I'll spell it out for you. Our racing days are over. They were over yesterday and they were over the day before that, too. I take it this solves your hippo mystery. Now all that's left is to apologize for these sorry sods. Care to tell me where to direct our groveling? Alright, let's have a chat with this Kankana. You're coming too, Maru. I left you in charge, and the one in charge takes responsibility. That's how it goes. You'll be there to give your report or something, right? See you soon enough, then. Aw. Now, who might these fresh faces be? I was expecting news about hippos, but perhaps you brought back a few lost souls as well? Something like that. Turner's the name, and on behalf of me hippos and associates here, I apologize for the commotion. We're used to racing our hippo carts on the less traveled paths of Vanaspati, you see. We never took much to society, even before the sky started raining fire. Mostly just kept to ourselves and lived off the land. But being new to these parts is no excuse. We should have known better than to take the high road at high speed, and we're sorry for any undue stress we might have caused. We ain't got much to offer, but we'll make it up to you however we can. Thavnair's in a bad way, so if we're ever going to do any good for anybody, now's the time. Or at least I'd like to think. I ain't got much in the way of ideas concerning how misfits like us can contribute. Crew of Arkasodara looking for purpose and speedy hippos to steer them true. Perhaps there is something Turner and her associates can contribute to recovering Thavnair. You ever considered delivery work? I think driving hippo carts could be an incredibly useful skill. Skill? You think so? We've only ever seen it as a hobby, but it's an excellent idea. Local trade is on its way to recovery, and the timely delivery of goods via hippo cart can only be a boon. However, delivery work requires a great deal of trust, as you are transporting someone's precious possessions after all. You will not only need to learn the trade, but earn the respect of the people as well. Everyone starts somewhere, so there's no need to feel intimidated. If this sounds like something you'd like to try, then why not let Zilly show you how it's done? Just so happens that a parcel intended for the great work was accidentally offloaded here today. It's filled with medicinal herbs from Gridania, so I'd like it sent over as soon as possible. You be a dear and deliver it with Turner. With your worldly experience, I'm sure you will serve as a shining example of professionalism. I'll entrust the parcel to you, Turner. I have no doubt that you will see it safely to its destination. Sorry for taking you out of your way, but I look forward to seeing a professional do whatever it is a professional does. I'll be waiting by the gate, so give me a shout when you're ready to go. We're ready when you are. My partner Saria here is pulling the fastest cart on the island. I stowed the goods we're delivering under the seat so they won't get damaged or nothing. And we ain't about to leave you high or hippo list. There's another cart just for you. Our hippos are usually shy around strangers, but you were there with the fruit earlier, so you've got nothing to worry about. They're smarter than to bite the hand that feeds. We don't let just anybody ride our carts, but if boss thinks you can handle it. No need for bellyache and Maru. We ain't racing the carts down the high road like some Hamza heads. I know. Now off we go, slow and steady. Riding a hippo cart, yes. No, it's just like a storyline cutscene. I don't have any real control over it. Probably get a mount at the end though, right? Not a bad way to travel, eh? My crew designed these carts from scratch, you know. Historically, we Arkasodara never went around in chocobo carriages and the like, but at some point I got to wondering why not. Sure, we're a heavy bunch, but nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it, right? Well, after auditioning all kinds of critters, we finally came around to hippos. Hippo riding's a team effort. Our hippos can sprint with the best of them, but they ain't got a lot of stamina, so a good rider knows when to push and when to let up. Here we are, safe and sound. Now we hand over the goods, right? You wouldn't happen to be talking about an imported package, would you? I've been expecting a delivery ship, but I've seen neither keel nor prow of it. Wait, aren't you the one who saved Nidana? Ah, I see. Well, thank you both for going out of your way to bring this over. You've saved me considerable grief. No large trading vessels can dock here, you see. Usually our orders are offloaded at Alnar and then shipped by Doe, but they sometimes get mixed in with packages destined for Yedlamad. And then the logistical nightmare begins, I'm afraid. May I check to see if you indeed have my herbs? Yes, this is it. Boarding these is trying enough without delivery mishaps, so I'm relieved they made it here safely. To think that all of the hippo hubbub was, in fact, industrious delivery work. A little frightening to watch without proper context, but you've done a marvelous job. I'll be sure to call upon your services again. That wasn't a delivery, but I guess a little misunderstanding never hurt anyone. People sure do trust you, though. I got trusted just standing next to you. And he looked so happy about his herbs, had me smiling right along with him. Maybe we really can make a difference with this delivery business. Thanks for showing me the ropes and for doing all the talking, too. Like to get straight back to Kankana, but from the looks of it, your hippo needs a breather. No surprise considering what it's been through lately. Here's what we'll do. I'll let this big boy rest up a bit while you go on ahead with Soria. Trusting you with my prized set of wheels, so be careful. No scratches or nothing. Just ride like you did come in here and there shouldn't be any problems. If you become separated from your cart, speak with her and add the great work to ride it again. Ride the hippo cart, yes. Does it fly? No. We just have to ride it back. Riding hippo. Make sure we don't aggro anything. Nice leisurely hippo stroll. Our mission accomplished. A triumphant Soria trundles away with the cart in tow. Kankana will be pleased to hear of your successful delivery. Welcome back. Zilly just told me all about your successful delivery. Thank you for your help, Turner. What did you think of your first job? The delivery part seems pretty straightforward, even for our help, but the whole build and trust thing won't be easy. So it's not like we can give up and go home to find a spotty. Sooner or later, we'll have to get used to living with other folks. And you should have seen how relieved that alchemist was when he got his supplies. Feels nice to know we did some good in the world. There's no greater reward for a job well done in my experience. If you choose to continue on this path, I am certain the joy you bring will be returned to you tenfold. As this is a new endeavor for you and your associates, however, I do believe it best if someone oversees your progress. You did so much for Ogle that I have to ask, will you lend your aid to Ternan and her associates? I know we're a right crew of misfits, but I promise you we're hard workers. Give us a chance and we'll make you proud. You've got spirit, kid. I'm with you. This is going to take a lot of work. Thank you. I swear you won't regret this. Now that that's settled, I think it's time you saw to your new home. You see, I've come into possession of an old trading post that has since fallen into disuse. Structures may be a little worse for wear, but the plot itself is very conveniently located. You are free to fix it up however you would like. You're just going to let us use it, just like that? I will lease it to you for a small fee. That is to say, if your new business fails to turn a profit, I may have to rethink the use of that space one day. But we can talk about the particulars later. For now, how about you go and take a look? I've marked its location on this map. Gladly. Thanks for everything you've done for us. Let's reconvene at our new headquarters. I'll round up my people. married. There we go. Telephone. Do 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 do. At least it's not too far from an ether, right? Does it look now? Because they tend to progress a bit over the course of the story. I just want to get a look at it. Glad you turned up. As you can see, this place ain't no mega duda, but once we get to the basics up and running, it'll start feeling like home in no time. We'll need a cart shed for starters and a place to store packages and whatnot. If I'm honest, boss, I'm still not sure about all this, but if you say we should give it a shot, I guess I can try. Thanks, Maru. I'm counting on you, you know. Alright, as of today, we're making our names as reliable delivery workers. We've got a lot to learn, but don't go easy on us. Teach us everything you know. Now, we need a name for our new business. Something real trustworthy. Boss, we gotta fix this place up. We ain't got time to be worrying about names. What's wrong with our team name, anyway? Our team name? You're right. We don't need no fancy, just fast, reliable, and riding hippo carts. Hippo riders it is. Level 80, hippos born to run. Complete. Already looks better. Led by their charismatic leader Turner, the hippo riders have retired from racing and rebranded themselves as speedy delivery workers. However, they are still known on the island as local delinquents. Use your experience as an adventurer and trusted hero to help them better their reputation. Tribal quest complete. Hippo Riders, tribal quest unlocked. Your reputation has increased to friendly. You have achieved friendly reputation with the Hippo Riders. Arkasodara tribal quests are now available from Maru and Svarna. Furthermore, you may now purchase wares from Gantha. Hasty Hippos 1. Level 80, a pachyderm's promptitude. Turner's eyes are sparkling with optimism, but the baleful look Maru shoots you from afar tells a different story. Silly, here to see how we're getting along, are you? Let me go and grab Maru. Thanks to your help and Kankana's odd jobs, we have been keeping our carts rolling and staying out of trouble. Communicating with the locals still feels daunting at times, but Maru here's made us some gulal to break the ice. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Gulal is this bright-colored powder used in some of Thavnair's religious traditions. There's an old belief that you'll be blessed with good luck and spared from evil if a visitor sprinkles you with a healthy handful. It's enough to make even the most stubborn buggers happy to welcome us. Sisters know it's been nothing but bad business for everyone lately. I reckon a little extra luck would do us all good. That it would. Though our own luck might be better if my girl Soria didn't start galloping with glee when she gets so much as a glimpse of the stuff. But all in all, we've been getting our name out there and learning the job. Might be slow going, but we're making good progress. But boss, is slow going really gonna cut it? So long as I get to ride, I ain't got no problems, but our carts ain't exactly designed for hauling cargo. No one beats us for speed, but practically speaking. Sooner or later, some silver-tongued dab hand's gonna come along with carriages or boats that can carry loads and loads of packages, and then where will we be? Gotta work, that's where. Carts might not best carriage and freight, but it's like you said, Maru, at speed, we're unbeatable. If only there was some way to make the most of it, to offer service that no one else could do better. Ask not, and ye shall receive no answer. Don't look at me, maybe your customers will have some ideas. True, we won't get anywhere marinating in our own juices. Let's ask around and see what speedy services folks might need. Is what I'd say if I knew the first thing about making small talk, which I don't. Help me out? Let's start at the great work. I got a delivery request from an alchemist there, so me and Soriel will head over first. I'll meet you by the Aetheryte after I picked up the goods. You wait by the Aetheryte, but see no sign of Turner, who should have arrived before you. Has trouble befallen her? Perhaps you should search the area for any wayward hippos. Nope, not as soon enough. Thank you, oh, thank you. Really saved our skins. Me and Sorius zipped over when we heard yelping, but it was everything I could do just to keep that beast at bay. And I don't know what would have become of me if you hadn't. Allow me to express my sincerest gratitude. Anyway, am I imagining things, or does it smell like fruit around here? If I was a Varalangula, I'd come running too. You've a sharp nose, miss. Yes, I was in Yedlamad on an errand when a merchant bade me to take this fruit, insisting it was delicious and perfectly right. How was I to know that every beast in Saltwind's welcome should agree with his claims wholeheartedly? I thought escaping that herd of drooling Gaja would be the worst of it, but my hopes were fruitless, as it were. Well, the next time you've got something to haul, call the Hippo Riders. Me and my associates do fast, safe deliveries by Hippo cart. Yes, I've heard talk of Hippo couriers as of late. Never did I imagine one would come speeding to my rescue. I will absolutely call upon your services in the future. I'm going to load his fruit onto the cart and see him to town. I've still got to pick up that package, so come find me inside the Great Work, this time for sure. Ah, you're the couriers, aren't you? You're here. You're already here? But you're with the students of Baldezian, aren't you? What business have you with our parcel? I don't know about any bald students or nothing, but she's helping out with our new delivery service. Really? Supporting small businesses? How grand. So, can I have the goods now? Well, you see, that is to say, it's not quite ready yet. I overslept is the thing, just a tiny little bit, so I was rushing to get it all prepared, and that's when I made this truly minuscule error in the formula, and it, well, it exploded. Quite explosively. Exploded, that's my condolences. In that case, I'll just hang around here while you're getting it ready. No rush. Let's go and do the talking thing while we wait. See what our potential customers need most right now. All right, conversations, here we come. Turner is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Turner behind by entering a different area by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Turner accompany you again, return and speak with her at an original location. Anyone in here? Nope. Do I need anything? Well, the Radiant Host used up its entire stock of medicinal supplies during the final days, so requests for replenishment keep pouring in without end. I can't remember the last time I sat down for dinner with my family. It seems like a different lifetime by now. That's unfortunate. I wish I could help, but I don't know the first thing about medicine. Do I need something? Why, I'm glad you asked. I've depleted my stores of honey. I haven't a moment to spare for such trivial affairs as eating, but cognitive functioning dramatically decreases without regular sustenance. So I came up with a brilliant scheme. Lick honey throughout the day for quick and easy nourishment. Only now there's none to be had, as I've licked it all up. We could start beekeeping, I guess. Honey hippos does have a ring to it. Then again, I'm not sure how many people would use a high-speed honey service. Honey hippos. Very punny. What's this? What's this? Do I need this, that, or the other? No. I'm flying free and feeling fine. I finished all my assigned work, which means I now have 3 delicious days for my personal research. I'll eat and sleep when I'm dead, but until then, alchemy. Right then. Congratulations. I'm ever so sorry to have kept you waiting. It's all here, packed up safely and hardly singed at all. I would like you to take this to a colleague of mine at Palaka's stand. He's an alchemist named Yazan, well built for a bookish type, handsome, you can't miss him. Him, with the baby? Oh, I know Yazan. That name sounds familiar. Oh, you're acquainted, are you? What a small world indeed. He's still the same as ever, watching over his little one in Palaka's stand. Alike, he requested replenishments for medicinal supplies, so hopefully this should tide them over. Also threw in a handful of finished samples, and the whole explosion incident stays between us, yes? Now, if you'll excuse me, I should eat something before my hands start shaking again. Oh, but do give him my regards. These alchemists don't seem to stop for nothing, even meals. Ain't no denying that their work's important, but it's a miracle they haven't all keeled over by now. What if the victuals came to them? But I'm getting ahead of myself. This package ain't gonna ride to Palaka stand on its lonesome. Introduce me to this Yazan when we get there, will you? Silly, what a pleasant surprise. I knew a shipment would be arriving soon, but I never expected you to be with it. Are you playing the part of Carter these days, then? The alchemist who sent this said it's herbs for medicine and something about finished samples, too. Is that so? I know how busy the work keeps them. It's very generous of them to send ready concoctions. I wanted to get straight to work replenishing our medicinal stores, so your prompt arrival is welcome indeed. Oh, if it's prompt you want, you ain't got to look no further. The Hippo Riders will deliver anything to anywhere in a flash. Of course, we're always fine-tuning our carts and services so as to better serve the area. Seeing as you're the one looking out for folks over here, I want to pitch you an idea. My impression is that folks over at the Great Work are so busy they barely have time to eat. That can't be good for the alchemy, not to mention the alchemists. So I'm thinking we start delivering fresh food by Hunger, Harry, and Hippos. Only starting a service for just a handful of peaky alchemists ain't exactly going to pay the rent. You think folks here could use some grub runners? I do believe so. There's long been tradition to send food to those working in the jungle, so I'm fairly certain you'll find our residents amenable to such a service. As these hot and humid climes tend to spoil foodstuff easily, we like to deliver meals as soon as they are prepared. However, transporting victuals in this jungle can prove somewhat dangerous. You mean that the smell of attracts all sorts of hungry critters, right? Precisely, and what with our fighting fit currently healing or engaged in other matters, we simply haven't the manpower to spare on escorting meals. But our hippos are a different story. The hippo cart can outrun most anything in this jungle, and so you ain't got to worry on that front. Thanks for weighing in. I've got to consult with my associate, but something tells me you can look forward to fresh meals from now on. Call it a lunch hunch. All right, let's head back to Svarna for a team meeting. Looking for something. We'll do Jim Benyon. Probably would have been quicker to teleport to Yetlama. Oh well. We're already flying. Out of the Samga. It was just as you said, asking around earned us some bright ideas. You think of something good, boss? Food, Maru, eats. We're gonna deliver meals with these wheels. Eats. Mouth-watering meals delivered wherever, whenever. Wish I could order something. We got it cinched, boss. Ain't nothing that'll deliver faster or fresher than our carts. Told you hippos, Maru, we've still got to sort something out. Where are we getting this food in the first place? Taking meals from Palakistan to the jungle is one thing, but if we've got to ride all the way to Yedlamad or Rajasthan for ready-mades... Good point. Popular dishes will be hard to keep in stock. What if we had a kitchen here? We could make our own meals. Yeah, fresh ingredients from merchants in Yedlamad, the daily catch from fishers in Akyali. And most importantly, we got an endless supply of food. I might be a genius, boss. Wait here, I'll have a kitchen going in no time. Level 80, a pachyderm's promptitude, complete. Thanks to Maru's enthusiasm, Svarna has a new kitchen. Hippo Rider's reputation has risen to formerly delinquent carters. Make the most of their expanded services to help improve their social standing. Travel quest complete. The Hippo Riders, reputation up. Your reputation has increased to trusted. You have achieved trusted reputation with the Hippo Riders. New Arkasodara tribal daily quests are now available from Maru and Svarna. Furthermore, you will be able to undertake 3 additional quests from Maru as a reputation bonus. This bonus is available until the daily reset time for tribal quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Maru. Please be advised that you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. You now have access to a wider selection of wares from Ganta. Achievement unlocked. Hasty Hippos 2. Level 80, Hippo Healing. Turner's boundless optimism is flagging slightly as her eyes dart anxiously among Svarna's shuffling hippos. Happy to see you, Zilly. I've actually got something to tickle your thinker with. Hey, Maru, get over here. Starting with the good news, looks like the hottest thing on Thavnair is Svarna's new Tandor. Folks can't get enough of our homemade grub. Being able to eat whenever we want's about the best idea I ever came up with. All you really need in life is a kitchen. Which brings us to our recent pickle. All the new business we're getting is really wearing down our hippos. We can't afford to lay off the work, but my poor girl Soria's got bags under her eyes. Do the hippos have comfy beds? This calls for a dip in the spa. You know, I've never given creature comforts much thought before, but if it's for our hippos, maybe it's time to start. Oh, boss. Oh, if it ain't Gaza, what are you doing back so early? You're supposed to be out on delivery, ain't you? That's just it, boss. We got trouble. The order I was out delivering, it got snatched straight out of my arms. Just when I enter the jungle, this bloke jumps out at me like I'm serving 2 for 1 on it at his favorite main. I pull up so I don't ride straight into him, but he rushes me, grabs the food I'm holding, and takes off. How dare he, stealing my food and running around in flashy armor like he ain't got to answer to nobody. Armor? A meal moose, you're wearing armor? Alright, forget that loon. Gaza, remake the order and get it delivered on the double. You up for stretching your legs? Let's see if we can find this son of a Bujama. Bujamaga. I can't. Done too many quests today. Good, I'll go hitch up Soria. I'll go and hitch up Soria. If she'll even let me, how am I going to convince her this time? Like I said, we got a thief to catch. Meet me over at the Shroud of the Samga, and we'll see if he left any non-crumbs. Here you are, perfect timing. Me and Zoria just made a sweep, but we didn't see nothing out of the ordinary. Not surprising, of course. No thief I've ever met sticks around to face the music. Anyway, see if you can pick up anything we might have missed. The jungle's always moving, after all. You never know what you might find. Me and Zoria will catch up in a little bit. Let me know if you find anything suspicious. You survey the area for suspicious activity. You spot an armed Arkasodara. You recognize her as the hunter, Sula. She lifts her hand in salutation before disappearing into the jungle. Just running. Far enough away from this thing. Ooh. Poo. Your survey of the area yields not a suspicious person, but two adorable hippo calves. You may smell more like hippo than you think because they cling to you as a comrade. Without a herd to protect them, these two calves might easily fall prey to other wild beasts. It would be best to pause your search for now and accompany them to safety. Po. Energetic hippo calf looks ready to follow you. It nudges the shy hippo calf beside it in encouragement. The trainer should know what to do. Hippo calves are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave the hippo calves behind by entering a different area by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have the hippo calves accompany you again, return to speak with them at the original location. Out it. Wait, where'd you get those hippos? Don't tell me you're the type that can't help picking up strays if they look at you all winsome like. Nothing suspicious saves these little pots, huh? Strange there weren't other hippos, though. Me and Sori also made an odd find, a Radiant who'd gotten smacked around by a beast, but no sign of our thief. Anyway, I bundled him into a cart and sent Soria off to Palaka Stand. Let's head over as well. Gaza should be there with his delivery by now, and I want to get his account again. Bring those calves while you're at it. It's too dangerous to leave them out here alone. Looks like that Radiant got back safe. One of their friends just thanked me. Greetings. Yazan tells me you've taken to the shipping trade. You do know everybody, don't you? Apologies for the delay of your delivery. Some scoundrel ran off with the first batch we sent. What's this island coming to that Arkasodara can't even trust each other not to act like two-gill thieves? And that's not even getting into the bugger's poor taste in armor. Anyway, we're terribly sorry to have kept you waiting, miss. Think nothing of it. It was only the most minor of delays. I'm worried about this scoundrel you mentioned. I've been patrolling this area for some time, and this is the first I've heard of an Arkasodara. Wearing armor? Oh no, mother forfend. In any case, I'll be sure to keep my eyes extra sharp whilst patrolling. We can't have Matanga running wild and pilfering prawns now, can we? You're making an odd squeaking noise, did you know? And your tika is getting cold. But you are, young Rakashir. Let us eat. As grandmother used to say, an empty stomach leads to forest fires. Or was it friendly fire? Forgive me, I feel faint. After we partake of these delicious meals, we shall scour the jungle for any nefarious suspects. I will send word if we find anything. So, are you going to introduce me, or should I skip straight to the cuddling? They were alone. Usually calves this young are glued to their parents, but you're saying there were no other hippos around? My deliveries are done, so why don't I go and have a look around the water and holes up north, see if my expert eye don't pick up something useful. Truth be told, these darlings probably smell too much like us to be going back to their herd now. Take them home so we can make sure they grow up right, will you, boss? Gossip can be hothead, but he's a real hippo whisperer. Ain't no one knows him better. I'll take the juniors back to Svarna. Stop by later when you get the chance. Heavens for Finn. Proud of the sun. Calves are making themselves right at home. Nothing better than having a herd, after all. You went out looking for a bandit and brought back hippo calves instead. You're pretty bad at finding things, but they sure are cute. Master returns. Find anything? I searched high and low, boss, but there's not a hippo to be had for Gil or Glory. Judging by their tracks, the herd must have up and left in a hurry. Do you think the calves got left behind in the scramble? I reckon nothing short of an outright blaze would be enough to separate cow from calf, but I ain't heard news of any fires recently. Something else might have done it, boss, or someone. I found tracks that looked an awful lot like Arkasodara's. Rival hippo rider? A hippo poacher? Can't rule it out to be sure. Thankfully, I didn't find no grizzly bits or nothing, so either way, the hippos probably got away safely. In any case, we've got a no-good grub-grabbing, hippo-harassing lowlife on our hands. We gotta be extra careful till we catch this bandit. Maybe so, but us hippo riders are professionals now. We can't let nothing stop us from delivering. Son of a Bujamga, the creature comforts. Oh, is she feeling all right? Man, but our hippos ain't. If this thief comes angling for our deliveries again and the hippos are too tired to haul themselves out of there, we're done for. And I'm not feeling great about our odds, seeing as even Sario was tipping me the cold shoulder earlier. I thought I'd have to pull her in the cart. If it's rest our poor pots need, then our first order of business is a proper sleeping stable. Long overdue, if you ask me. And for our new additions, a wading pool is safer if they can swim right at home. I guess we could fix up that old fish pond and make a splash if it ain't deep enough for the bigger hippos, though. Better than nothing, and we can't keep them cooped up in Svarna all the time anyway. There's no good for hippo's soul. May as well take them out for proper bathing excursions. I guess they are the ones doing most of the legwork, but this ain't no small project, guys, so you better be helping me build all of this. Level 80, Hippo Healing, complete. Aw. Thanks to Maru and Gauss's exhaustive efforts, Svarna has a new stable and wading pool. Hippo riders are now known as unique couriers, which is presumably an improvement. Make the most of their rested and refreshed hippos. Travel quest complete. Reputation up, the Hippo Riders. Your reputation has increased to respected. You've achieved a respected reputation with the Hippo Rider. New Arkasodara tribal quests are now available from Maru and Svarna. Furthermore, you'll be able to take 3 additional quests from Maru as a reputation bonus. This bonus is available to the daily reset time for tribal quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Maru. Please be advised that you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. You now have access to a wider selection of wares from Gonta. Level 80. Defiant Ogle, deified. Perhaps it is simply your imagination, but Svarna's working population feels notably bigger. The glint in Turna's eyes suggests you'll be happy to explain. Nice to see you. If you have a moment, I'll tell you the latest. Thanks to our cool and breezy stables, our hippos have been getting all sorts of luxurious shut-eye, and the little pots can't be tempted away from their splash, and all in all, our growing families bursting with energy. Good thing, too, seeing as our services are in ever higher demand, folks have even started coming around and petitioning for employment, if you can believe it. We've always liked keeping our business to ourselves, so the thought of welcoming in strangers felt dreadfully queer at first, but helping others is what riders do, so we've got some new faces on the team. Besides, as swamped in requests as we are, we'd be lost without the extra help. Help! Help, I say. I appreciate the enthusiastic chorus, Ogle, but what have you gone and done to your head? Lose a bet, perchance? Ogle, you look fantastic. Excuse me, have we met? Play dumb. This is hardly the time for jesting. We are in crisis, I tell you. Crisis. There are Gajasura in the jungle. Ever since you mentioned that thieving Matanga, I've had this terrible suspicion. I had to know for certain, so I cleverly camouflaged myself with this Gaja disguise, set out to investigate. That's a disguise? And ain't you sweating an awful lot? I would choose a pool of sweat over a pool of blood any day. Between the Aura and Gajasura, there can be naught but violence and requital. And there is no doubt as to what I witnessed, a Gajasura in the flesh. The image of it shall haunt my dreams, those red eyes, that devilish armor, that cart drawn by a frothing hippo. What? A hippo cart? He declared his name with a ghastly voice, Akala. I became an edifice of fear. He asked if I was his Matanga brethren. In that moment, all I could envision was my own death and dismemberment by that beastly creature. Before I knew what had happened, I had heard my own voice cry out. Not I am but a passing Manusia. Manusia do have bodies of men and heads of beasts, so if you squint really hard, never mind, ain't no way anyone can buy that. Actually, he was terribly polite about it, pressed his hands together and bowed deeply before leaving me be. You're saying you let him go? Ain't no doubt he's the bandit we're looking for. You're a fighter, ain't you? I'm sorry, while I have come to cherish the Arkasodara as my friends and allies, Gajasura are another matter entirely. When I came to my senses, I searched the area and found one of your associates injured and missing his cart. No doubt the same cart now in Akala's possession. Luckily, your man's injuries seemed manageable, so I saw him to Palaka stand where Yazan is treating him now. If that's so, then I owe you my thanks. Sorry for losing my temper like that. Everyone's entitled to their weaknesses. Anyhow, even if he did give us leg bail, he can't have gone far. I say we track him down while the trail's hot and take back what's ours. And let us reconvene at the Shroud of the Samga. I shall take you to the very place I encountered him. Shroud of the Samga. This is where I saw him. From here, he rode off on that stolen hippo cart, but I can't for the life of me remember which direction he went. I was so paralyzed by fear that north could have been south and east, west. To let a phobia get the better of me like this, can I really call myself an adventurer? There ain't much use crying over spilt chai. You were caught by surprise End of story. We should stay grounded and focus on what we know. Grounded, of course. That's it. Grandmother would often say that the trail to prey begins at a hunter's feet. Look here on the ground beneath our feet, wheel tracks departing in a southwesterly fashion. Say we divide our efforts and preclude any Gajasura trickery. I shall accompany Turna as her guard, while Zilla, you survey the area for hidden villainy. I'm counting on you. Sweeping your gaze across the area, you see no trace of Gajasura, hidden, villainous, or otherwise. Listen closely to the sounds around you, the faint rustling of wind through leaves, the snuffling of wild beasts, no hippo carts. Don't punch stuff. Matanga, tolerance won't be defeated by the likes of you. Why no fire? Thavnair full of fire. Akala here, good for conquest. I ain't got the foggiest idea what delusions you're riding in on, but I'll tell you one thing, you're picking a fight with the wrong island. You'd best give back what you took and skip along home. No, not leave till conquest, Thavnair. Small Gajasura, shame to tribe. No place for Akala and Battle Brothers. Travel far to prove strength, protect brothers. Conquest, Thavnair. Home for brothers. We won't stand by and let you conquer Thavnair. Can't we settle this peacefully? Use silence. Akala no fight today. Battle brothers must eat medicine. See your reasoning, but you ain't got no right to involve my hippo. Let him go, now. Your food, good taste. Wagon, good ride. Good for Battle Brothers. Soon your home conquest for Akala, remember. Hey, get back here. You are. What kind of person compliments your cooking before riding off with hostages? He's gone. If hippo carts weren't so fast, we could have given chase. He said something about being small, but he didn't seem much different than us Arkasodara. Are other Gajasura seriously massive or something? Oh, about twice as big as your average Arkasodara. It is even said that their leader, the Grand Regent, is indeed so grand that to gaze upon their full stature is to break your neck looking upwards. In comparison, Akala seemed quite modestly sized. Were his compatriots similar? I see, only slightly bigger then. Still, they must be considered quite small by their other brethren. He said they had no place to go. Can't say I don't know how that feels. Can you forgive what he's done? He didn't seem very open to negotiations. I know, but keeping his brother safe came before anything, didn't it? Hard to damn him for that. Getting pushed out of society just for being who you are can really work you woe. Makes you wonder if you were ever worth anything to begin with. No wonder he's itching to prove himself. On the Azim's step, the very notion that Gajasura could be capable of such nuanced emotions is, pardon me for saying so, preposterous. However, judging a book by its cover does nothing but feed fear and misunderstanding. This is something I certainly learned thanks to my experiences in Thavnair. You gotta judge others by their actions, of course. So far, Kala's mostly injured my associate, stolen my property, and kidnapped my hippo, but still. Now let us brace ourselves with some adventuring fundamentals. Review of the information at hand. Bandit responsible for the assault of the hippo rider, theft of personal property, and kidnapping of an innocent hippo is a Gajasura called Akala. According to him, he and his compatriots are here to conquer Thavnair so as to prove themselves to their fellows and secure a home of their own. Akala also seems to have taken a fancy to our carts, which means he's got good taste, but it also means that Svarna is high on his list to conquer. If I rallied my people and had you two there to back us up, we could probably put down Akala and his crew full stop, but I'd rather not come to blows. I'm not going soft or nothing, but causing a hurly-burly don't exactly right any wrongs. I want to talk with others and see if we can't figure out a way to do this civilly. Settling matters peacefully should also put you on the right side of the Radiant Host. I shall be sure to relay your plight to them in a most sympathetic fashion. I shall await a Palaka stand to check in on your ailing associate. Once he feels well enough to travel, I will send him along. I'd like your input on our strategy. I'll head back to Svarna first to round up the others. Back to Svarna. Now, about that bandit. Not only does he biff an innocent courier, he vanishes with our hippo. When I'm through turning that scamp into paste, he'll wish he were turmeric. Normally I'd hand you the pestle with pleasure, gossip, but things ain't so simple. After all, in another lifetime, us and Akala might have been brothers. I agree with the boss. Don't feel right pushing around someone who's been through the same thing we have. Still, knowing that bastard swindled his way into our sweet hippo's heart is bringing me to tears faster than Maru and his damned onions. Since when do our hippos trust the likes of Gajasura anyway? Well, with so many jobs taking us hither and yon, our hippos have gotten used to all sorts of different folk. Even Akala's just one in a crowd. Makes you think if he can learn to ride a cart, anyone can. Anyone and everyone, I should say, and why not? We gather people here like you and Ogle, you know, adventurers, and when a job comes in, we send them out on their own hippo carts. Having a crew of strong arms hanging around the place gives us the advantage just in case Akala ever decides to pay us a visit. They don't all have to be brawlers, neither. Say we've got some alchemists, we could send them anywhere on the island and take care of injuries. The right deed for any need sort of thing. Opening an adventurers guild, are we? There will be refreshments, I trust? Why not? Stop by, have a drink, hear what work's available. I think I'm onto something here, if I do say so myself. If I can get a link pearl connection going with Kankana, then that'd be even better. We could give each other moment-to-moment updates. Maru, we've got a kitchen, so how hard could a main be? Hey, give me a main, Maru. Main, you got a boss, so I'll get a main running when a twinkling of a hippo's eye. 280, define Ogle, deified, complete. Thanks to the efforts of Maru and the others, Varna has a new main. Hippo riders are now trustworthy couriers of some repute. Connect with contacts across Thavnair to reach exciting new heights of business. Travel quest complete. The Hippo Riders, reputation up. Your reputation has increased to honored. You have achieved honored reputation with the Hippo Riders. New Arkasodara travel daily quests are now available from Maru and Svarna. Furthermore, you will be able to undertake 3 additional quests from Maru as a reputation bonus. This bonus is available to the end of daily reset time for travel quests. These additional quests will become available after accepting all current daily quests from Maru. Please be advised that you cannot undertake these quests if you have no remaining allowances. You now have access to a wider selection of wares from Ganta. Achievement unlocked. Hasty Hippos 3. Level 80, leader to leader. Turner's shoulders are thrown back and her stance is braced. Her normally jovial gaze looks steeled for trouble. Am I glad to see you? Haven't made much headway on our Gajasura problem, but let me tell you about the rest of it. Like I said, no tearful reconciliation or nothing, but having folks at the main's been giving us peace of mind. Between our little outfit and Konkana's contacts, we've got every sort of adventurer you could ever need. Ogle's been stopping by when she can, too. She's gotten mighty good at riding. I think she's got the instincts of a racer. Once Ogle finds her groove, she's unstoppable. As a fellow adventurer, she makes me proud, if you say so. There's no doubt she's been setting a great example for our recruits. So much so that even the Radiant Host's been asking us for guards and lookouts to patrol the roads. Works out in our favor, seeing as we'll be the first to know if Akala ever decides to. Boss! Right on cue. We just got word a whole mob of Gajasura is closing in on us, and I don't think it's because they got wind of our deal on Lassus or nothing, neither. He'll be here any moment, boss. What do we do? Asa, go and find Ogle at Palakistan and have her report here. Then I want you to make the rounds and tell folks in this area to be on alert. I've got a hunch Akala's only after us, but just to be safe. Maru, I want you to keep up your maintenance on the carts. No need to panic, but if matters should run awry, I want everyone ready to leave, understand? I'm going to relay the situation to our friends at the main. As for you, I'd like you to go and graciously welcome our Gajasur guests. Any fights picked with you, you've got my permission to finish, but I don't want no blood on your hands. Don't mean to make things complicated, but that's how it's got to be. I owe you one. Report back when you've got a handle on things, yeah? Get our gotta kill some stuff. Vicious disturbance. It's a very disturbance in the force. Right, one more. go a bit further. Welcome back. As you can see, we're a bit of a deadlock with our favorite hippo enthusiast here. This is hardly the time to be glib, Tirna, but rest assured that I am prepared to do all that is necessary in self-defense, even if that should be a swift and decisive offense. Hold on a moment. I'm angry, Ogle, but when I think about what Akala's stolen and who he's hurt, I start boiling like afternoon soup, but skewering him ain't gonna solve bigger issues. I say we talk first, see if we ain't so different after all. You too weak for Akala. Leave hippos, go. You want us to leave Saharna? That ain't an option, and you know it. If you got such a hankering for our hippo carts, there is another way. You could always join us. Me and my associates, me and my people, we built this place to welcome us when nowhere else would, so there ain't no version of this where we simply up and leave because you demand it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what it's like to have no place to welcome you. You need to take care of your people no matter what. That's why I don't want to fight you. Your people no place for home, but you protect people, you, same as Akala. But Akala hit your people. Tell truth, you forgive no Akala. Like I said, I'm angry. No one messes with my family and gets away with it. That's why I want to settle things with you, leader to leader, fair and square. Wahahaha. Akala hit stronger than weak. You, Akala, win. You're keen on violence, ain't you? When I say settle things, I'm not talking about a fight. I'm talking about a race, or on hippo carts. If I lose, I swear my honor as a racer that I'll agree to your terms. But if I win, you repent for what you've done and you join us peaceably. Deal? You fool, Akala win race, take hippos, take wagons. You can try. We'll start the race from that harbor town right there and ride the high road all the way up past the quarry further on. Agree, Akala wait at town, but Akala wait not long. Well, he was more reasonable than I expected, but lest he decide to perpetrate any knavery, I shall keep a sharp eye over him. I ain't gonna go back on what I said, but I really shouldn't have called Akala out like that. Not because I think I'll lose, not on your life, but we had to crawl our way up from being nothing but reckless misfits. Now that we've made something of ourselves, I'm gonna ride the high road and blow whatever respect we earned to the wind. What's done is done, I guess. Now we just gotta focus on keeping things fair. Don't want Akala working a traverse around us, not when everyone's futures are at stake. Damn it all, how are we supposed to make this work? What if the race were a sanctioned event? Invite a crowd to watch. Akala's not likely to work anything then. That's genius, an official hippo race between the Arkasodara and Gajasura. That'd be, well, legendary. If we do that, not only do we stay legitimate, but we'd be hosting an event that everyone can enjoy, like a festival. I know I said our racing days were over, but this is going to be one for the Chronicles. I'll show you a race you'll never forget. Alright, I'll have Ogle smooth things over with the Radiant Host while my associates spread word about our upcoming scurry. Come and meet me in Yedlamad. Can't keep Akala waiting too long. I'm gonna target everyone but one I need. You not ready? Akala ready. Akala no patience. Keep your armor on. We've got to wait for our audience to show up. Don't want to start without our kinsfolk cheering us on, now do we? Kins, race, battle. Not show off, no kins. Come on, Akala. Our Kens are going to make sure both sides play fair. Besides, if you win, they'll officially be your Kens, right? Fine, Akala, accept Kens. Speaking of which, I've got a proposition for you. Seeing as this race is going to determine the future of both our peoples, I'd like to declare it a cooperative effort. Only the two of us will be riding the track, of course, but my team's going to be backing me up from the sidelines. You're welcome to do the same if you'd like. Battle. Akala win alone. Akala strong. That's so. All right, then. Tilly, let's talk. I think it goes without saying that this race ain't just about the hippo riders. The whole island and all the people on it are counting on us to win this. So here's my plan. I'm going to give you a link pearl like the ones me and my associates use. That way we can be in contact during the race. I have Maru and Gasa standing by at key points along the track so they can give you updates on our progress. I want you to use that information to advise me during the race. Sound okay? Not to lay on the pressure or anything, I take full responsibility for how I ride, but just in case I lose my head, I want you to keep me focused. Chief Strategist, reporting for duty. I think I already lost my head somewhere, but I'll do my best. Oh, if you insist. Chief Strategist, reporting for duty. Thanks, pal. Thanks, pal. I'm counting on you. All that's left is getting Soria ready to run, then there ain't nothing stopping us. She likes those bright colors. What do you reckon the chances are of a rainbow conveniently popping out of nowhere, eh? If only. I made it, boss. Maru, what are you doing here? And sweating like Ogle in that Gaja head. What's happened? What's the matter? Nothing, boss. I've brought you something for your race. Soria goes wild for bright colors, right? So I used some of our leftover galal to make a rainbow. Just throw this and she'll perk right up for sure. If this ain't a sign from the divinities, I don't know what is. Maru, you hams ahead. You really came through. We're gonna win this thanks to you. I'll save this for just the right moment. Can't hit the ground running too hard after all. Keep that in mind when you're coaching me. Pacing is important for a race this long. Anyway, go on ahead to the goalpost over by the Giants Golf grounds. I'll see you when I bring home a victory. Alright, I want you watching the high road around the great work. I'll fill you in on the details by Link Pearl. Mountain Zoo. Not the right spot. Oh, I gotta go way up here. Okay. Teacher, we're already over here. Seems that preparations at the goalpost are complete. Racers, are you ready? Citizens of Thavner, I welcome you to the very first Hanish Hippo Hustle. Representing the Arkasodara and our very own Hippo Riders, Turna. Representing Gajasura, the mighty Akala. Racers, take your mark. Get set. Go. Akala win. Run, run. Conquest for Akala. That Gajasura bastard pushing our precious hippo that hard. I'm so mad I'm sweating blood. Boss is eating dust, but the road's not looking too good up ahead. What's your call? Don't lose to that bastard. Full speed ahead. Save your strength. The road's looking rocky. Can I fail this? Right, we'll hold fast. They're passing by the great work, and it looks like Akala's hippo might be reaching its limit. Not surprising seeing how hard he's pushing it. Chances are good Akala's not going to take much more of a lead, but it's your call. Go, turn the hippos or go. Hold steady till the final spurt. Let's hold steady. Loud and clear, we'll bide our time for a grand finish. Gotta make it more dramatic. You, fast, more fast. Run, run, run. Two hippo carts are hurtling towards the goal at breakneck speed. Give your final piece of advice to Turno for the win. Boss, give it everything you've got. Unleash the rainbow. I've been waiting for this. Get ready to see lightning. Oh yeah, let's go. Who won? Who was it? Kala win? By Hippo's nose, the victor of the Hanish Hippo Hustle is Turna. Kala lose? Why? You trick a Kala. No, we didn't trick you. We just know our hippos. That's all. What they like, how much they can take. Hippos are living, breathing creatures, same as us. Having to run that hard for that long, all while pulling a heavy bloke like you. No mystery why your hippo melted its grease. Hippo's slow because grease melt? Akala understand. And I did say that your people could support you during the race, but you insisted on riding alone. They're your battle brothers, ain't they? I bet they would have loved to help. Might be in charge, but if I got to rely on others to protect my people, I'm not hesitating. You can only do so much by yourself. By yourself. Of course, trusting folks enough to do that didn't exactly come naturally to me neither. Me and my people, we used to be nothing but a bunch of misfits. We didn't really belong nowhere, and no one really wanted us around in the first place. People like us ain't got a lot of options. You either scrape by on the outskirts so that you ain't a bother, or leave for someplace new and hope that you can prove yourself somehow. But it ain't got to be like that. You can be you and still build trust and contribute something positive, however small, misfit or no. At some point you realize that none of us are really so different. I believe in you, Akala. I think if no good racers like us can turn things around, you and your people can too. You ain't got to conquer nothing to protect your brothers now. Deal's a deal, right? Join us, become a hippo rider, and see where the cart takes you. Akala, your words understand. Akala, you, not different. But Akala Gajasura, this bad. Our tribes may have their differences, but as for you and me, that's what a racing rivalry now. And everyone watching saw how hard you were trying for your people. Might take some time, but I think you'll find a place here. So what do you say? Come back with us to Svarna? Akala, accept. Thanks for the stellar advice. Couldn't have done it without you. Ain't no way I was losing, but I'm glad this didn't end with Akala's people being chased off the island. Got a little tense when a bunch of Gajasura came walking in, bold as brass, but I explained the situation and everyone's been good-hearted about it. It's like I said, none of us are so different. But enough about that. People love the race. When was the last time I rode like that? Wind against my face, crowds cheering me on. Heh, now that I think about it, might have been a first. Next time the Hanish Hippo hustle rolls around, we should start it from Svarna or finish it, or both. Think of the traffic we'd get at the main. Who knew thinking up new ways to excite other folks would be so, well, exciting? All of this is thanks to you. I can't thank you enough. Alright, let's get to it. Our brand new racing gate ain't gonna build itself after all. Level 80, leader to leader, complete. In commemoration of the historic race between the representatives of the Arkasodara and Gajasura peoples and the peace thereby achieved, a gate has been erected in Svarna. The Hippo Rider's reputation has soared to legendary heights, backed by their diligence and hard-earned skills. Turner and her associates will continue to spread joy throughout all of Thavnair. Hippo Rider's reputation up. Your reputation has increased to Sworn. You have achieved Sworn reputation with the Hippo Riders. You will receive an experience point bonus upon completion of the Arkasodara Society daily quest. You now have access to a wider selection of wares from Gonta. Achievement unlocked. Ride or die. Level 80, the Hippo Riders. Despite the peaceful ambiance in Svarna, Terna's ear is flapping nervously. Her eyes dart towards the entrance near Yedlamad. Thanks for stopping in. It's always good to see you. Nothing much to report, if you can believe it. Akala and his pals still have their challenges, but we're taking it slow and getting to know each other. They've certainly got their own style that some folks find surprising, but I figure so long as we reach an understanding somewhere in the middle, we'll keep getting along just fine. Luckily, all of Akala's battle brothers now have it on good authority that Turner strong, so they'll listen to what I've got to say without a fuss. They're a sight to see around supper, too. Not even Maru shovels down grub with that much gusto, but they help out with work how they can, so I'm not worried. At least I wish I wasn't. See, I just got word that Kankana's on her way over. Apparently, she's got something important to discuss. I'm sure it ain't bad, but just think about it has my knees shaking. Would you mind terribly if I asked you to sit in? Be my pleasure. Well, since I'm here. Thanks, I can always count on you. She should be here soon. There's like a destination there. Couldn't see it. Tuna, thank you for making the time to chat. I know you have quite the busy schedule, so I'll get straight to the point. About this land, I believe our terms were that I would lease you the space contingent on your profits, correct? Oh, there's no need to look so terrified. Everyone on the island knows just how hard you and your associates have been working. I had a feeling that you would take well to delivery work, but when I heard you welcomed a group of Gajasura into your midst, well, surprised wouldn't cover the half of it. You have done what no Arkasodara before could, and it is truly remarkable. After you've accomplished so much for your community, who would I be to come here and demand that you return this land? No, you have no need to worry. Seeing Gajasura perform honest work before my very eyes, I'd write home about it, but nobody back home would believe me. Tell you the truth, sometimes I can't believe myself. We may come from different places, but me and Akala and all our people share a lot of the same pain, and none of us really knew what to do with it. But now look at us, helping others like we've been helped ourselves, and doing a damn fine job of it. Passable, anyways. And that's thanks to you for helping out so much, and Kankana for believing in us and lending us this space in the first place, and Ogle for always being here in a pinch. Maru and Gasa, the rest of my associates, they've all been here with me through every sort of thing you can imagine. Even Akala's been a big part of our journey. Because of everyone that we got this chance to see ourselves as something bigger than just misfits. So on behalf of all my riders, I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have the highest of hopes for you, Turner. You and your associates are no longer just delivering parcels and people, after all. You're delivering hope and inspiration to all those on this island. Which brings me back to why I've come here today. I would like to gift you the deed to this land, Turner. That's nice. Consider this my investment in a happy, healthy Thavnair. Continue building your business into something you feel truly represents the Hippo Riders, and I will feel more than repaid. I believe that the people of Svarna will bring us closer to the brilliant future we all hope for. Make us proud, Turner. Those words mean more to us than you'll ever know. Thank you. I promise you, we ain't gonna let you down. The Hippo Riders, we're gonna deliver everyone straight to the better tomorrow. Now, there's that enthusiasm I love so much. Here's to that better tomorrow and to seeing it with you. Now that I've got the future of the whole island loaded into my cart, I think it's about time to toss caution to the wind and ride like I never rode before. Got so many ideas I want to try, like, listen to this. Once Thavnarian tourism gets going again, we could do hippo cart tours, take folks to see all the prettiest places. I've gotten so used to thinking up these sorts of ideas, but if you hadn't said what you did back then, none of us would even be here, you know? What did you forget? You were the very first person who ever said to me that and my hippo carts could be something useful. Might have been a throwaway comment to you, but to me, to us, it meant everything. Who'd have thought a handful of words could change the hippo riders from misfit and racers to an independent business? Must be your own sort of magic, but we'll be repaying your kindness every day going forward. You can count on that. All right, enough chit chat. We've got goods to deliver, mouths to feed, drinks to pour, and most importantly, hippo carts to ride. Level 80, the hippo riders, complete. Society quest complete. Hippo riders, reputation up. Your reputation has increased to Bloodsworn. You have achieved Bloodsworn reputation with the hippo riders. You will receive an experience point bonus upon the completion of Arkasodara Society daily quest.